Hello, everyone, and welcome out to The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, a podcast where I sit down with some of my friends in the local Columbus, Ohio theater, film, and improv scene and talk a bunch of geeky stuff. Some of it good, some of it bad, but all of it definitely geeky. If you enjoy our programs, be sure to subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and to leave a review, or subscribe and leave a review wherever you can get podcasts. Our official sponsor of the show is Audible. With over 200,000 titles to choose from, get one audiobook and 2 Audible originals each month included with your trial, even once your trial ends and normal membership begins. How rad is that? Best part is you own your library, meaning you keep the books even if you cancel with Audible. Plus, you get easy exchanges. So, don't love a book? Swap it out for free anytime. Sign up for your free trial over at audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. Download the Audible app and start enjoying your new audiobook. Also, support for this podcast has been made possible by our Kickstarter backers, Ashley Carson, Catherine Ranella, Woos, Yannick, Doug Poeta, Christopher LeBlanc, Andrew, Kenny, Jerome Wetzel, Casey May, Anonymous, Tavia Ordway, Anthony Portillo, Jen and Brian Petrie, guest 16554255418, Laura Spires, Kimberly Barr, Kyle Jepson. We here at The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky just wanted to offer the following discretion that this episode was pre-recorded in the last few months of 2019. In this episode, I am here with
Jessica.
And we're going to sit down and talk. We're already sitting down, actually.
We are.
We are. I don't know why I said that. We are already sitting down because we're going to talk about Disney's Frozen 2 on this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. And a word of warning, there are tons of spoilers on all kinds of crap we talk about, so listener beware. If there's anything you want to tell us about the movie Frozen 2 or Frozen or any other Disney project, join in on the conversation by interacting with us via social media or email. Twitter and Instagram is username goodbadgeeky, or email me at goodbadgeeky@gmail.com. We may read your comment on the show.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh. All right, we're here to talk about Lion King. No, we're here to talk about Frozen 2, which is a sequel to Frozen.
No.
From like 4 years ago? No, 6 years. Is it 4 to 6?
Oh, 6, I think.
6.
I was in Korea when it came out.
I like your delivery. It's like, it's 6, I think.
I think.
My
students would sing all the songs to me all the time, constantly.
Well, okay, let's talk about that real quick before we get too far into the movie. For, at least in comparison, my take, Frozen 1, super catchy music. It's good, like I can listen to it in the car, and maybe I did for a bit until I realized they were starting to play Let It Go all the time on the radio, and then I got a little whatever. But like all of them, even like Olaf's song is super catchy, where I can hum it. I really can't hum you anything from Frozen 2 except for
Into the Unknown.
No, I can't even do that one. It's the I remember I like the song in the movie, but when they played it in the credits, they played like the country pop star version, the Tracy Musgrave version of it. And it's da 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 da. It's a song that the mom sings to the kids.
The lullaby song.
Yeah, all is lost or all is found. I downloaded it. That's how much I enjoyed it. But like I tried listening to the rest because I have Apple Music, and I'm just like I don't. Like, when watching the movie, I was like, these are really good. I get what they're going for. Like, Jonathan Groff's song.
The White Snake song?
Well, see, okay. White Snake, also acceptable as REO Speedwagon.
Because that's the scene I was cracking up the whole time, start to finish. It was so funny to me.
It was.
And it was supposed to be funny. Like, it's not like...
Right, but like if I listen to the song though, you're completely missing out on like you're relying on your memory of the visual, and like at some point you realize, okay, is he still popping out behind 3 trees? Like, you know,
are the reindeers singing in chorus?
Are the reindeers chorus behind him? Are they? Are
singing
they
into a pine cone?
I know, it's just so good. Again, very funny, and like it made the song very enjoyable. But like I walked out of the movie going, I really can only hum one song and not well, but like I want to listen to it some more. The rest of them are like, in context of the movie, were phenomenal. Like I was completely immersed in what was going on. I didn't break out. I will say the Lost in the Woods one threw me off for a second, and when I realized what they were doing, I was like, "Oh, I'm in for this. Let's do this." See, I felt like the song sounded like REO Speedwagon, but here's the thing: REO Speedwagon, they were the general pop ballad band from the 80s and super early 90s, like what 90 to 92. But like Whitesnake, Extreme, all these heavy metal bands.
Whitesnake had like.
They have like 3 or 4.
The ridiculous visuals, I feel. It's like, I'm on this decadent Corvair, Camaro, whatever, that's white with a design on it, fucking 80s. And there's this hot chick with a lot of hair just whipping around and crawling on the car. And that is basically the energy of that song.
Or in this case, a reindeer.
Yeah,
where he's riding on a reindeer, he's next to a reindeer.
He's there, and then like his face shows up next to him in like
it's a complete 80s video.
Oh my god.
It's so
I cracked up. And the theater was silent. So I was like, cool.
That makes me sad that no one else, because there was a few laughs in my audience, even though it was mostly made of little kids, who, by the way, fun fact, has nothing to do with Frozen 2, but trailers, they showed the movie Cats, the new trailer for Cats.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, and all the kids, it was like a weird, like a wave of, oh, what is that? It's so weird. Like nightmare fuel was being born in that moment. I was just like, yes.
My question about the new Cats is, why is there so much dialogue?
There was a lot of dialogue in the Broadway musical, wasn't there?
No. It's mostly singing.
I got
And it's like, what's McCavity even doing here? He shows up for like half a song. Why is he here? He occasionally like creeps in the background and you're like, oh god, McCavity, but he's like a character. What is this?
I wonder if they went to Weber and was like, if you had a full budget to do whatever you wanted, would your cats talk and sing more? And he was like, oh yeah. So anyway, that trailer played in front of Frozen 2. That's why we're talking about this now.
It's the only live action trailer.
Yeah. Did they play the Scoob trailer for you too?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I don't
will watch it.
I will watch it too. By the way, I was also pleased that I found it funny, but a lot of like the adults and the kids found the last joke in the trailer very funny, which is, do you know where we're at, Scoob?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's all like silver and shiny and has some blue and yellow in there. And it's like, IKEA? Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck he says, but it's not important. I think he's like a spaceship.
Yeah.
It's not even important. But Scooby says IKEA, and he's like, IKEA? Did you say IKEA? No. Got huge laughs. And I was just like, and it is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Frozen 2.
So we covered the Whitesnake REO Speedwagon.
We did.
Solo.
We did.
Perfect. I really liked Olaf's
existential
song where he's like, this is fine. Everything's fine. His just song wandering through the woods.
When I get older, it'll all make sense to me. And I'm just like,
this will be normal. It's fine.
It's technically okay. At first, there was a part of me that felt it was really cheesy, but I also appreciated it too because look, I am not a small child who grew up with this movie. I am an adult, but I also appreciate that they made references to this, like, oh, and everyone's getting older, and they like that's the first big song, the group song.
Yeah, but some things never change.
Some things never change, but it's like, and we're all a little older, and like Olaf says that right. He's talking to the kids that you can kind of see running around the camera.
Yeah,
but he's looking right at us, and I'm just like, oh, they're talking about you small children in the audience, but I'm in the audience too. I don't know. Yeah. I was just like, oh, clever you movie, but my first thought was, God, that's fucking cheesy. And then as the movie went on, I was like, it's adorable now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It reminded me of his song in the woods, reminded me kind of like Whistle a Happy Tune from The King and I, where it's like whenever I feel afraid, I whistle a happy tune, and the happiness in the tune convinces me that I am not afraid.
You are like busting out some musical shit here today. Like,
it's like, oh, I do this. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. There's weird red eyes in this cave, but I'm just gonna keep going. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and I will say too, I'm surprised how little. I thought there would be some kind of theme from Would You Like to Build a Snowman? I think there was like one musical cue.
Yeah.
But I was expecting it way more in the movie. I think they only did it once, and they did let it go once. Actually, I feel like they did that, and they did Love is an Open Door when she's looking at her memories. And she looks at, because then she knocks the fuck out of Hans because he's a fucking asshole. Hans is the bad guy from the first movie, everybody. She goes to her, I call it her mind palace. That's not really her mind palace. It's an actual palace.
Yeah. Her Fortress of Solitude.
Her Fortress of Solitude. And I actually like this because I do remember, I feel like I did read somewhere that some scientists believe water does have memory.
Well, you are made up of probably not specifically for humans or for beings water before you, but you are made up from the stuff that came before you.
Right, which is isn't science
more than
amazing?
Water, but
sure.
You're like 70% water, so it's fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he's not wrong, but I also really appreciate that they actually committed to explaining that. Because when he's talking about the cycle of life with water, he uses Sven as a diagram of like, it starts here, it goes through your stomach, and it comes out on this end. And I was just like, you guys are really committing to this, and I just give you props because there was an old lady right next to me and a grandmama, and she was a little, clutching her pearls a little bit at that moment. And I was just like, but it's not wrong. It's kind of using humor, but like...
And Olaf is like every child who's just discovered... I love how he's like, this is so much easier now that I know how to read. Because it's like, he is like every child that just is learning to read. It's like, Mom, did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this?
True. But I feel like his brain is in a very weird place because it's that. Honestly, he's like Johnny Five. Because Johnny Five in the Short Circuit movies would go from an instance of, why do you do that? Need input. And then he would go, life can be sad. Let's think about how happy we are. And you're just like, because happiness is fleeting. And you're just like, let's talk about existentialism. And you're like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, let's read Pinocchio. I'm sad. Need input. You're like, the hell? But like literally he goes back and forth from that. Like, let me tell you facts about water has memory, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes right into existential drama. And I'm just like, I don't feel a kid does that. I mean, unless they've had a really bad time.
I don't know. Kids will pop stuff out and you're like, okay. I liked Into the Unknown, but I really liked in the credits the Panic at the Disco version.
Yeah.
I was like, get it, Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco did a really good job. Yeah, who else? Let's see who else is on that. I'm trying to play without playing.
Evan Rachel Wood is the man.
Yes, and Alfred Molina is he doesn't sing, but he is their dad.
He doesn't sing, slacker.
I know. Well, here's the thing though, he does actually have a beautiful voice, and the only reason I know this for sure is because yes, his voice sounds great anyway because he has that. He can do that a really good American accent. He can do a really good British accent. But there's an outtake from Spider-Man 2 where he's on top of the train and he's Dr. Octopus, so they have the actual arms, and he was studying to be Tevye on Fiddler on the Roof. It's a big fucking role and it's really musical, and so he was learning, if I was a rich man. And so there's a clip of him going, if I were a rich man, yada, 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 da, 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 da. But the puppeteers start doing the arms too for the octopus arms. And so it looks really just kind of weird, looking like Dr. Octopus is doing a musical. but he has a beautiful voice, and I didn't know that he could sing. And that. But so I'm like, Alfred Molina, why are they not using you, bro? But and also for those who are big fans of the Little Mermaid / Tangled / Tarzan / whatever theory, you got debunked on this one.
Oh, that they're connected?
Yeah, that they're connected. Because first off, the book that young king dad dude, Alfred Molina, is holding when he's talking about the book in the One Memory, it's a Hans Christian Andersen book, but it has the logo of the Little Mermaid. And I was just like, Hans Christian Andersen, he wrote the Snow Queen, which is what this is based after. It has nothing to do with it really anymore. And I was like, cool. But also that was the big theory, is that they sailed away, crash landed somewhere else. They birthed Tarzan. then they still wrecked again. And then Tarzan's like their...
Well, their wrecked ship was the one that Ariel's exploring.
Or something like that. And that was proven wrong, too. Yeah. Because not only are they reading the book about her, but the ship didn't wreck under the ocean there.
But Tangled, they do show up in the first one.
Oh, yeah, as like a hidden Mickey. Because like Baymax shows in this one, too.
And Dumbo.
Dumbo, Baymax. And Mickey Mouse kind of, like mouse ears.
Mouse.
Yeah.
And like, it cracked me up because when she's like, "Oh, giraffe," all I could think about was the Sultan's like animals.
Oh yeah, and the
he's
beast
putting
is there.
he's putting on a what is it? A camel on top, but there's a giraffe that's like the same shape. What sound does a giraffe even make? Toss.
I just remember the joke from South Park, the bigger, longer uncut. It's like, and that's when you will give the call of the giraffe. Dude, what the fuck does a giraffe sound like? And it's like, like, and they just look at each other like, okay. and then also it's like, do we have the backpacks? Check. Do we have the shovel? Check. Do we have the butt for? What's a butt for? For pooping, silly. That's a juvenile joke. Anyway, Frozen 2.
And full circle, didn't the writers of the songs write the songs for Book of Mormon? Isn't that what it is?
Actually, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was my intention. Full circle. Frozen 2. But yeah, for those who wanted that theory, or if anything, they thought the parents would be alive. I
had a small hope when they came on their shipwreck. I was
too.
Like, oh, maybe they're no.
Yeah. Well, and they weren't necessarily clear because they didn't find a body or whatever. Yeah. But like but to me, it felt like it was very definitive. Yeah. And then I think I read an interview with one of the filmmakers or the writers, or I think the songwriters, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, they're dead. We've confirmed that they're dead. We're sorry for people who are fans of that theory, but they are dead." That was what. Yeah, because if you paid attention, they're holding on to each other as the water's developing them to take them to drown them. Sadness.
The song kind of, if you go digging too deep, you're going to drown. Cool, that's dark.
Yeah. So before we recorded, my wife asked you, and kind of me was just like, I heard it's dark. Is it dark? And we were both like, well, it's darker. Yeah. And then I think I was like, it's morose because you have a snowman who questions life, the universe, and everything, but also asking kid questions. And then, you have people hating change, which everyone hates change. So that's a very relatable thing. They don't want things to change. Then you have like someone who's an idiot and doesn't know how to talk to women, even though he's dating one, which that's also a very common thing. I mean, my God. He was so bad at trying to propose. It was,
his reindeer proposal where the like village chief woman came into it and was just like,
yeah, I felt bad for him.
And she just like walked slowly out. She's like, no, she left.
Yeah,
I'm gonna inch away from you now.
Well, and I liked too that they kind of had a real relationship concern, like they both sang about, which is. Now, granted, he gave her the wrong impression that he might want something different than her. But that's also because he's bad at talking to everybody besides Fen. But he also was just like, well, I don't mind that she's off doing her own thing, like when Lost in the Woods. Like, I still feel lost though if I know you won't be there. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
But he's okay that she does that. But he just wants to know that she'll be there, I guess, is how it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like how she chases after Elsa. Like, it's like, I want you to be safe. Which, granted, she has more like, the last time you did this, shit hit the fan pretty bad. And you almost didn't come back. So.
Yeah. But for those counting, 2 people technically died until they didn't in this movie. Which was Elsa and Olaf, which the Olaf one was okay, but then when the flowers showed up, I was like, what was the flowers for? Because he's
and
dead.
Why did he float away? I thought he was going to float away, like go back to her.
I thought
But then it's like he just floated out of the cave and
went to like a
in a pile. And I was like, I don't understand why that happened.
I didn't either, and that was a little weird to me. Like I'm bummed that he died, and I thought his scene was very touching. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, if they would have cut back to her and she was holding, I found out eventually what she was holding because they didn't really show you right away. She was holding on to her like satchel, and inside was all Olaf's stuff.
All his pieces.
But like, I don't know. Or I honestly, I would have been more sad that if she was just sitting there holding that and she's covered in snow.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But so, because it made no sense. And then the flowers show up, and I'm like, is it because he died? And these are what? And like the force is giving him flower. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I thought it was a good thing having him die because it shows Anna that Elsa's
not doing good, or she's
probably dead. I didn't even think about it until he started flurrying. I was like, oh yeah, he's only alive as long as she is.
And that's what Frozen 3 will be about. Even though they kind of said at the end, it's like, so are you doing this anymore? No, I think we're done. And I was just like, is that you telling us we're good? Because I'm good if you're good. But then there's a part of me that's like, what if the third movie is just like making Olaf alive forever?
Oh, terrible.
It would be terrible, but that would be the
immortality.
Well, but again, that would be the sad part of it is that that's what comes with immortality.
Everyone you love dies.
That's something that's fucking dark. Frozen, the franchise that keeps getting darker, but asks the serious questions. What happens when you die? What happens if you're alive forever and everyone around you dies? Do you feel sorrow, or at some point you just stop caring?
Womp.
Womp. But I mean, that is a fascinating concept they could go into. But that was
Olaf's Frozen Adventure too.
Oh dear Jesus! Just do not put it in front of Onward, please, or any other movie. Just
I enjoyed Olaf doing his summary of events for everyone to watch like after Frozen came out, there were a bunch of videos on YouTube of people like recording when Hans is like, "Oh Anna, if only someone loved you," and people being like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's the bad guy? And, like, that's just what it reminded me of.
Oh, like
all the soldiers
videos.
from Arendelle are like, oh. When Olaf got to that part, they were all just like, what?
Well, I will say, especially with the material, it was very adult without being too adult. Like, Zootopia tackled racism, but I felt like this movie tackled, like, bigger questions, like, you know, what happens when life changes on you? Or, you know what I mean? Little stuff like that. And what if what you thought about yourself was not necessarily true, like your history, family history, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you find out your grandpa's a dick.
Yeah. Played by Jeremy Sisto, who is good at playing dicks in anything. Because he was like an asshole. I think he was the asshole in 6 Feet Under, wasn't he? He was like the asshole that Brittany Murphy liked in Clueless, I think. Young Jeremy Sisto. Yeah. Rolling with the homies. Yeah. Cher was trying to get her with him, and then he was trying to mack on her instead.
Can't remember his name.
I can't remember his character's name, but Jeremy Sisto, he was like 6 Feet Under, played like Brenda's brother. He's done, but he usually is good at playing the asshole character. I think the only time I've not seen him play an asshole was, I think it was that TV show Suburbia or Suburbicon or whatever with the redhead, where she was kind of like a troublemaker, but everyone else was like, this is suburbia and everything's great. And he was the dad, and he was just like kind of a nice guy, kind of dad guy. He was just like, please just don't get in trouble. I just, blah, blah, blah. You're a smart kid. Don't do stupid stuff. And she would do stupid stuff. Anyway, that's the only time I remember him. So when I found out he was that, I was like, oh, did you capture the soul of the voiceover artist who was the one, okay, so I thought they were going to do a love triangle at first, and it freaked me out for 5 seconds because I was like, is that Jason Ritter? It sounds like Jason Ritter. Why is Jason Ritter in this? I love Jason Ritter. Why am I mad? Do not put Anna, with fucking him and have a love triangle with the three of them. I would be so pissed, and they didn't. I was so happy. But, like, that's how fast my writer brain worked when I was just like, I heard a celebrity voice, and I was like, well, that means he's going to do more stuff in this movie. What's going on? And so literally in a span of 5 seconds, that's my entire frame of reference, which was, why is he here? is that Jason Ritter? Yes, it is Jason Ritter. Oh my God, are they going to do like a love triangle? They better fucking know. Okay, they're not doing it. I'm fine. Like, it's a weird thing. And Martha Plimpton played I think the daughter of the chief who got killed. The girl that walked up on their big, she left. I think that was Martha Plimpton. Cool beans.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the girl who walked in on Jonathan Groff's character. I can't think of his name. I have IMDb, so it'll tell me.
Christoph?
Yeah, Christoph. When Christoph and Ryder, because that's Jason Ritter's character, they were doing the big, this is how we propose, and the chief walks up.
Yeah.
That's the daughter of the previous chief.
Oh, the previous chief.
Yeah, that is Martha Plimpton.
Okay.
Who, I mean, I didn't recognize it was her. When I saw her name in the credits, I was just like, Martha Plimpton was in this? And then I was like, oh, her voice is dark, like a little bit more lower now.
Yeah.
Because back in the 80s, she was like, I'm young Martha Plimpton. I have a higher voice. Also, I'm still smoking a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you stick around for the credits?
I did. For more
Yay!
Olaf.
For more Olaf. I wanted to say that earlier. I was like, no, I'm just gonna. We'll get back to no. They did a great job with that because I was just like, I bet there's nothing at the end of this. I'm gonna be so kind of bummed that I waited.
So he's like, and then a whole bunch of not important stuff happened that I don't remember.
Yeah, because you were dead, son.
Yeah.
Which I thought was. How did you feel about the? Okay, we're kind of going all over the place, and that's my fault. The plot of the movie, real quick, is Elsa is getting called somewhere. Yeah.
She hears a siren voice.
She hears a siren call. She goes to figure out what it is. In the process, Arendelle almost gets like wiped off the map because of some like a magical curse that
From some 34-year-old curse.
some 30
Ancient. That's ancient to Nick.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, so when they were talking about that's what it seemed like, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, it's not ancient, it's like 34 years old. And so my brain is still thinking ancient. It's not. And also, it's a fairy tale, goddammit. They're all ancient curses.
They got photographs. It's like...
Also, can I point out that the life expectancy for those people are not that long? So you know what? That is ancient for them.
They have photographs.
That was weird.
It's the late 1800s.
Is that officially what it is, the late 1800s? Because I feel like there should be guns or something.
Maybe they're not into guns.
Or it's Disney and they're not allowing them to put guns in. But I kind of feel like someone on there outside of a can. I feel like Tangled had cannons in there, so we didn't really see them a lot. But
who are they fighting? They ain't fighting anybody.
Well, but you need an army or a navy of some kind. They didn't call it that, I don't think, back then.
Get in the fjord.
Get in the fjord.
You gotta maneuver around all their water. They have an ice queen.
They do.
She just like rain ice daggers on them.
By the way, so at one point Elsa hears the siren call and she does some weird fucking thing where she just makes a bunch of little diamonds show up. Like ice diamonds, like I'm assuming.
They were runes.
Ice runes. And I was just like, these things are falling. Someone's got to be getting hit by these and dying. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Because you can die from falling icicles.
Yes, you can.
Like in that movie, The Lovely Bones.
God, that's been a hot minute since I watched that. Yeah,
that's a good movie, but I never want to watch that again because Tucci is creepy.
The runes, and everyone can read the runes.
Oh yeah, but then they're like, okay. But then they find a scroll later where they're just like, we can't read this. It's in an ancient writing. We don't understand. But it's like it's very clearly the runes.
They can only read the 4 runes. Yeah. And when they were like, oh, the 4 elements, and there's a 5th element, I was like, is the 5th element heart? Because the other ones are earth, fire.
Well, technically,
wind, water.
Well, I do think it's interesting that Elsa is the 5th element,
but it's love.
But it's the love between her and Anna that I think actually cements that. You know what I mean? Like her powers just help her control all the other shit. But without the power, I think she still would have been because. Well, yeah,
and that's kind of what she says. She's like, our mother had two daughters. We're 2 sides of a
bridge, and I'm just like, ooh, that's clever. I didn't expect that.
The one thing I didn't see the point of was her staying up north. I was like, there's not really anything for you here except that glacier. Like, these people are here, but you don't fucking know them.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I didn't love it. Well, I was just like, look, you're the queen of the special magic people, and you're the queen
Party
of the
of one.
normal.
I mean, we know Elsa never really wanted to be queen. She's like, I'm going to Jon Snow this.
But she's totally the leader up there. Like, I kind of feel like she is.
Yeah.
But no one's going to fuck with her because she is an element of their
Yeah.
sacred religion of magic.
Yeah, so she's basically moved to god status.
Right. And so it's like, do I want to hang out with, like, my sister and her new husband in the castle where I have horrible memories of growing up? Or do I want to live in the forest with a bunch of people who worship me as a god? Let's seriously take a second and think about this, everybody. I'm going to go with God. I'm going to go with God. Because also I have a cute little pet lizard that will follow me around now.
They've got, like, Gale, the wind spirit.
The wind spirit. Oh, yeah. The fuck? That is such a weird... Like, I was expecting that to be her parents or some crazy... Again, this is before shit starts happening and I realize what's going on. But I was just like, well, because, you know, the story wasn't availing itself to me yet. I literally thought, it was like, is the fire her father and the wind is their mother?
Like, we're not that cheesy.
It's Disney. You can never be too sure.
True.
I mean, but they were cheesy enough to put another side animal character in the movie, which is the cute little fucking lizard.
Cute little lizard that looks like
But
the chameleon from Tangled.
But I will say this though,
Pascal, that's his name.
he was nice, but like Pascal to me felt like kind of like Sven, a best friend who can't actually talk to you, but you know what I mean? This lizard was a little fucking lizard. He just did lizard shit.
And heard the call.
And he heard the call. But I thought that was interesting that they didn't make... Like, they leaned into the Disney sidekick animal character, but they kind of stopped and was like, oh, no, he's a real animal. He's not going to do that Pascal shit where Pascal's, like, giving dirty looks to Flynn and, you know, sharing glances with Elsa and being like... I'm watching you kind of shit. Like the lizard's just looking at Elsa and going, licking its eye.
Licking his eyeball.
Yeah. I did like though, she's talking like a stupid human does when they have an animal. It's just like, I can't do that or whatever. I just remember she said something really like pet ownery.
What should we do?
What should we do? Yeah. So
Talk to my cat that way.
I talked to my roommate's dog that way. I was like, who's a good doggy? Who's a good doggy? And then when I realized what I sound like, I try to stop, and then I do it again anyway.
I sing to Mischief and I put her name in songs. She does not appreciate it.
Yeah, so what else about Frozen 2? Kristoff... the relationship with Ryder I thought was interesting. I'm glad they didn't go where I thought that we were going to go with that. I'm glad they didn't go where they went kind of with the fire spirit. Gale, I'm kind of happy that she was just like a weird wind spirit that
just chilling. Well, I don't know what the horse's name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go with Aqua
or
some sort of water related word.
Yeah,
like
but you think of a horse
to
name too. You know, I'm just trying to say like Typhoon. Yeah.
It's a good one. But she didn't have an earth spirit. I guess the rock dudes
the rock
just
monsters
helped her
are
out.
I feel the rock monsters are the earth spirits, possibly.
I mean, that's like her pet.
Oh, that is like her pet.
Because she had the other three.
I didn't see them as... I was poor wording on my part. I wasn't saying like all of them needed pets or the spirits had pets. I just thought it was interesting. Like we've seen a fire one, we've seen water. And I liked it too. They finally addressed that. Hey, I'm going to freeze the water being and make it one I can ride on. Because before it's just like, how the fuck are you riding on that? You should be falling through the horse. And it makes sense when it's storming out because there's a lot of water splashing up, so it looks like she could be like, you know, riding the wave, but I don't know. Also, she's not on top of the water, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
They included indigenous people.
They did. It wasn't super offensive.
In the credits, it said they got like permission or collaborated with the, I don't know how to pronounce it, Sami people?
I am the worst person to ask that too.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry.
Random aside, I finished an episode of Parks and Recreation where the Indian chief of the tribe there who owns the casino.
Oh, he's the best.
He is
like
awesome.
fake curses people, and he's like, white people.
Right, and I like it too. The second or third appearance, he shows up where they're doing stuff with the park, and so she freaks out and she throws like arrowheads, and because if they find Indian-based items in the dirt while digging, they have to stop digging immediately. And so she confesses to him. She's like, "Look, I was just really desperate." Blah 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 blah, and he totally fucks with the guy that screwed Leslie over. At the end, he's just like, "Here, or Leslie's like, Chief, we should wear these cereal bands and dance around the room," and he's just like, "Yes, Leslie, we should." And so the guy who's an asshole, he gives it to him and he puts it on. He's like, and he just looks at him. He's like, "That is super offensive." I was just like, bravo. But yeah, that was the big thing. He's like, white people love a good curse. but on a serious note though, like that is true. Like they actually, I think this and Moana, they took extra care on trying to work with.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I think I read an article that was like they didn't in the first one, and the opening song is based on a traditional song. And it's the same song that when they realized their mom was one of the Northlanders. I don't.
Northlanders, yeah.
Northlanders. I don't forget what they were called. People of the North. They sang the song again for them.
Yeah. Well, so this is weird. When I was listening to every version of that All Is Found song, it does sound like the song at the opening of the first Frozen, very faintly. Like in terms of the beat, I guess. I was just throwing
they 100% re-sing the opening song. The hey ya ya hey ya ya. They sang that in this one.
They did, yeah. But like when they get into the main crux of the song, like that's the part I was talking about, where it's like the beat, they keep the beat going. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of faintly in the background because it kind of changes into All Is Found. But I was just like, well, that's nice because we have this weird fucked up non sequitur. I think it's non sequitur. It's not actually. You know what I mean? Like, because if you watch the first movie, it's very like none of this stuff ever really comes up again, except for the part where the Frozen in the heart.
I really want to know the relationship between their parents. Is it just like she's not snuck back, but kind of snuck out with them because she like covers herself with the blanket in the wagon? And is it just she was brought back to Arendelle and he took care of her because she saved him?
That's a weird one, right? Because in some of the flashbacks, she is just like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, and she's still wearing her like traditional clothing.
Yeah, I feel like that would be suspect.
Like, I need explanations about this relationship. I'm super interested.
Can I also point out too? I feel like sometimes in not just Disney movies, any movie, the guy who was left behind and is forced to adapt quickly to the new regime. And I don't use regime. I'm using it kind of in poor taste, but because Anna and Elsa aren't a regime, first off, and also they're very good people. Yeah. But they don't know that. Like the former guard that Sterling Brown plays. Hold on, I'll have his name here in a second. Matthias? Yeah, Matthias or Matthias? Matthias. Well, that sounds better.
We'll get there.
We'll call him Matt. Well, it is spelled Mattias, so Matt, we're close. Me and Matt are close, so
something like that.
Well, Matt, as I'm calling him, because we can't get the real name.
General Matt,
or
whatever he is.
I feel like in other movies, or I've seen it before, where they go, "We need to blow up the dam." Why? Well, they're not really evil, and they're not really this, and we just got to do it. Usually, they're just like, "No, we must fight for the old ways," and I'm just like, "Thank fucking God, that's not what happened." Because I was like, "Is he really the bad guy here?" Like,
no,
because he fought for his dad. You know what I mean? Because Well, because they
Well,
kind
I
of
feel
lightly
like-
talk about, you know, the MAGA shit that's going on right now, which is
Yeah.
because that's kind of what it felt like is what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Was it's like, oh, we're better than them because we're Arendelle, white people, and they're not, and so we have this dam to fuck them up and fuck their magic up, and then we're gonna kill them all. And I'm just like, Jesus, that's horrible. But I like that even though they were still stuck there at Oz, they probably saw some of their teammates die, and both sides, they were able to go, we can do the right thing here and let you destroy the dam.
Well, and I also feel like it's clear that over the 34 years they've all been stuck in this magic fog.
Yeah.
That they've at least come to an understanding of,
we're
not going to fight if we don't have to.
Yeah, it's the classic sitcom arrangement. It's like, you don't cross the line, and I don't cross the line,
Yeah,
okay?
it's like
you get half the couch, I get half the couch.
They know enough about each other. I feel like they've probably, like, one-on-one run into each other in the woods before, and they're just like...
Like, one of them gets up in the middle of the night, has to go
What
take
up?
a piss, and it's just like, dude, you're kind of peeing on my side of the line. I'm really sorry about that, but there's some other shit over here, and...
Oh, man, I didn't see it in the dark.
I didn't see it in the dark. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I feel like they've had enough interaction... But this was a huge thing that happened is like, oh shit, the magic's moving. Who fucked up?
Right. Well, and so that's what I'm saying. I really like that a lot. That's not the direction, that's the direction they went and not the other way. Because I feel like everyone's first instinct is that we need a face on the big bad. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no. The big bad had already happened. It was the grandfather. And he was evil and he's dead anyway. How did he die again? They said he died.
Did he fall?
He fell over a cliff or something, didn't he?
I think. Classic Disney.
Classic Disney. Throwing
That's how much I didn't care about him. I was like, oh, okay, he's dead, I guess.
Well, I guess that was something that was irking me until they said that. I was like, well, what the fuck happened? Did he just die of old age? Because fuck that guy.
Or did the spirits kill him because he killed the chief?
Jesus. Yeah, and it was
and
very
it's like,
clear.
oh, you found these two dudes dead. No wonder the rest of them were like, ah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, this is darker than
to amend our previous statement.
Yeah, but that was, I guess that's the thing, is that I appreciate as an adult a lot more that they were like, even if they failed doing it, I would have given them mad props for trying what they were trying, and luckily for them, my opinion, or not luck, they worked really hard at it. It does hold up really well. And it was very enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, and like Disney does have this recurring theme. Like they said in here today, they're like, today. I watched it today. Elsa's like, foreigners aren't the problem. Fear is the problem. Or fear's the enemy. And like Beauty and the Beast, the mob song, my favorite line. We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us.
Yeah.
And this monster is mysterious, at least. Or Savages from Pocahontas, where they're like, they're not like you and me, which means they must be evil.
It's interesting that Disney is good at dumbing down those concepts of very serious, lofty concepts, and breaking them down like that, which I like. And technically, it's a musical that just has animation to it, but like...
Well, and I feel like musicals are really good at doing this. Like,
they are.
Putting that stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, oh, look, it's in this catchy song, so people don't notice it as much. Like, I don't like West Side Story, but the song America is great social commentary. And it sucks that movie is 60 years old, and that song is still relevant.
Spielberg is remaking it.
Yeah, it looks like a beige piece of shit. Based on the pictures I've seen. It's so beige
for Mr. Spielberg's genius.
Why is it beige?
Because Spielberg is weird.
The movie's so colorful, and they're all such colorful characters. Why do you got to make them all sepia toned?
Do you know what my favorite song from West Side Story is?
What?
It's the parody that was inspired by West Side Story in Good Feathers. I want to perch on Scorsese's head. 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 And you know for a fact that
there you go.
Spielberg probably is like, hey, Marty, do you mind if we throw your name out a couple times in this? And then they also got the rights for the song, I think, in itself is...
I don't know. Do you need the rights if it's parody?
Well, so that's the thing.
I guess if you're making money off it.
So that's why if you watched The Simpsons or the soundtrack for The Simpsons, I think the album In the Key of Springfield, I think it's the second or third album. That's the last album where you can hear the actual parodies happening. After that, and it's because the legal department started getting more freaked out that you need permission. So, like, for example, See My Vest is way too close.
See My Vest.
And apparently Disney threatened legal action. They didn't go through with it, but you could that's what I'm saying. You can kind of hear them going, "We're balls to the walls. We're the Simpsons."
But I also thought it was like Weird Al. It's like he doesn't actually have to get permission. He just does it as a courtesy.
Well, he gets permission. Here's the thing.
Or is it from the artist?
He gets the permission from the artist because he feels that's the right gentlemanly thing to do. Oh, it's an honor
Weird
thing.
Al's such a good dude.
He is. Because I think he said like he paid for the cover rights, and then he paid for the rights, and they're like, "You're paying us. We don't care for what you do." And he's like, "Yeah, but I still want to talk to my Donna about like a surgeon. Yeah. I want her blessing before I do it." And then of course you have situations where, I'm sorry, I just don't ever see Weird Al ever lying about anything. Where he asked Coolio, and Coolio said yes, and then Coolio's like, "I never said that. I think you talked to someone who you thought was me." I was like, "No, I talked to you." Like, because supposedly he hates gangster Amish Paradise,
which is so good.
It's so good,
and
I can understand Coolio's side too. Is like, if you say you do this, and I'm the one guy that you didn't get permission from, really. Like, and Gangster's Paradise is kind of a serious, it's like probably my magnus opus. And
does he have another song?
He has a few. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Gotta get up and get down. Gotta get up and get down. What you hear is not at his. Also, and I didn't know this one, years before that, he had "Come on and ride on a fantastic slide, slippity slide when you're living in the. If you're living in the city, it's do or die." Yeah, something like that.
I do know that one.
Yeah, I remember the video, but I didn't know who he was. Because Fantastic Voyage in itself is also a real song, but his version of Fantastic Voyage. Anyway. I don't know how we got the fucking Coolio.
Moving away from Coolio.
Parodies. Actually, I will say I am intrigued to see what The Simpsons will do now that they're owned by Disney, because now they can just do whatever they want.
Oh my God.
Which, I'm not going to lie, I'm happy with that. Because some of their parodies were like, See My Vest is like, to me, one of the best Simpsons parodies ever. But after that, I've not really heard too many. Like, I think the closest one they got to it, and it's not really it's a parody, but it's not, is Monorail, which is like like it's more of an original song, but they're very clearly doing T stands for Trouble from The Music Man, because that's Conan O'Brien's favorite musical outside of Cats.
Stands for pool.
Yeah, he's like, what about us brain dead slobs? You'll be given cushy jobs. Where are you set here by the devil? No good, sir. I'm on the level. Sorry.
The garbage man can. Instead of Candyman.
Oh, yeah. But see, I feel like that's in that. That was like what? I feel like that was in that time frame between like seasons 1 and like 7 where they could get away with that. And then Fox was like, nope. Derp. We're not going to do that anymore.
Too popular now.
Too popular. Yeah. Random aside, I have to say this.
What?
I know already. What? The Michael Jackson episode being cut is kind of a bummer. Yeah. Because like the biggest, I think like the one thing that most people know about The Simpsons, even if they don't know anything about The Simpsons, is I think my wife knows the song, which is Happy Birthday, Lisa. Mm-hmm. Lisa, it's your birthday. That's all they know. But I'm like, that's a great episode. And like, I understand you not doing, but technically he doesn't voice the character that often in the show. Like supposedly it's more his double than him. Supposedly. It's a big controversy. No one really knows how much Michael Jackson dialogue got into the show versus how much his double did. I think his double for sure did the singing, but there were 1 or 2 lines where they couldn't get him, so they got the voice guy to do it. And it's like, but it's like a few pages of dialogue. So, you know. So I guess your final thoughts, real quick. What would you say? Like, yay, nay?
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I would recommend it. I
would too. And you saw it in Dolby, and I thought the Dolby mix was really good.
It was, and man, when when that dam came down, it was like, I was like,
Right.
oh, rattling my brains
Well,
out.
I kind of feel like I've seen a few. I saw live action Disney, Aladdin, live action Dumbo at Dolby, and the mixes weren't anything super special. Like, they're better than normal theaters, but they still weren't like worth it. Like, I have A-list, so for me it was.
Yeah, me too.
So excuse me.
That's like almost the whole price of A-list, that one ticket.
Right, but I can
So
see
it's like,
3 Dolby
yes.
movies. You know what I mean? Like, or 2. I can IMAX in a Dolby. You know what I mean? So you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
But I just remember I saw Aladdin. And I was just like, it was okay in Dolby. Your thoughts on the movie aside, but like the mix. Neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I lived in Korea, they had the 4K, or not the 4K, the 4D.
Yeah. Where it's
Not
like
every
mist.
movie is a winner in 4D. You can't watch like a serious drama in 4D and expect it to be worth your money.
I mean,
You have to watch a Marvel movie where your
yeah.
seats are like going crazy and they're beating you up and things are flying in your face and you're like, what's happening? I'm there.
like that to me makes total sense. Like seeing, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like this last year, the only movies I've had fantastic Dolby mixes have been horror movies.
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep was amazing.
Was it?
The sound mix alone was amazing, and I don't know when this episode or that episode will go out, but Doctor Sleep I thought was a good movie.
I need to watch it.
If you get a chance, listen to me, Matt, and Kyle's podcast on it. If it hasn't come out yet, well, time travel. It's coming out soon in the future. But no, but if anything, and we talk about it a little bit, like the sound mix Dolby Atmos was good, and I think the last time I felt like really like Jesus was It Chapter 2.
Yeah,
it was
good.
like good, yeah. Because I mean, yeah. So like they have their own theme because you know the big thing in all movies right now. It's not just this movie. It's all movies. It's like playing DJ Shadows. You know, gotta get drunk, whatever. Dun dun dun. AKA they play it in every Seth Rogen movie. Which fine, whatever. Or it's a dirty adult comedy. They play that song. The other big thing is that they do. Oh, my brain just died on me mid thought. I am so sorry. Oh, the Inception song. Ironically, the Inception sound where it's like, wah. Right. Well, they do that a little bit in The Shining, but it's or in the Doctor Sleep movie in the opening credits, but halfway through they start doing, and I mean it's shaking your chair. It's really kind of creepy. And then they start playing womp 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 womp. They start playing the Shining theme, and it slowly mixes in there, and it's fucking creepy as shit.
I like it.
And I don't remember feeling creeped out by the song. Like I'm getting kind of talking about it. Like it was just a good mix. So anyway, if you get a chance to see it in Dolby, I would definitely get a chance to see it in Dolby. It's a decent mix. Yeah.
I would really like to watch, this sounds weird, just like an hour of trailers in the Dolby Atmos theater so I can decide what I want to see in it. Because
Oh yeah. Or
if
they
the trailer music is like the new Terminator movie, probably going to suck. But I love the theme that they have for it.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm going hunting. And I'm like, oh, that song's creepy
yeah.
as shit. It would be real cool in Dolby.
Well, what was it? They showed it in the trailer that Godzilla was supposed to be in Dolby, and they didn't fucking have it anywhere in Dolby here in Columbus. I was so pissed because I was like,
That'd be a great one.
it would, because even Sarah was just like, okay, I really wanted to see that in Dolby. I was like, I know. It was, yeah. Anyway.
Like Lord of the Rings, I would like to watch that in Dolby.
I would like to see, yes, I would like to see that. Not The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Specifically the Lord of the Rings. I would pay extra to watch all 3 of them extended in the Dolby theater.
I think we're seeing Star Wars in Dolby. I'm really looking forward to that when it comes out. So I hope it does. I feel like sometimes when we go opening night for Dolby films, the projector breaks or something. Lennox hasn't had that problem in a while, but yeah. Anyway, Frozen 2, really good. You should go check it out if possible. Dolby is a good mix to watch it in. And I didn't see it in 3D, so I can't vouch for it. I'm sure it'd be fine, but I'm getting away from 3D unless I absolutely have to.
I can't stand.
It's okay. Like, you know,
It's just, the screen is always dark if it's a 3D cut of it. Like the screen is just always darker, and it My
if
night
you see-
vision isn't great. I need to get glasses, honestly, for like the dark.
Oh wow, we're gonna have a talk after
But
this.
no, so it's like if
get more
I'm
glasses.
watching a horror movie and the screen is dark, if there's some detail I'm supposed to notice on the screen, I will not. I have to lean over to whoever I'm watching it with and be like, what am I not seeing?
Oh my, yeah. So my wife, it's not so Jessica can see our TV. It's a decent sized TV. But we were watching The Mandalorian on that. Have you been watching
is it
that?
good?
It's really good. But there is a small detail that happens on it, and it kind of happens off to the side of the screen this last episode. I'm not going to say what it is, but
Baby Yoda.
it is.
I love him.
So he's turning on the ship to drive away, and Baby Yoda crawls out of his little crib thing.
Oh god, that's
and
adorable.
goes up to the top, and he looks at a lever that has like a little ball on it.
Oh my god.
Unscrews the ball because he wants to play with it because he's a kid. And Mando, as they call him, just goes, "It's not a plaything," and puts it back. But like Sarah was
you.
my wife. We were trying to eat dinner and watch it at the same time, and I just knew like it's kind of a plot point for later, that little ball. And she's not, and it's something that's kind of dark on the screen. It's kind of in the bottom, you know what I mean? And she wasn't looking at the screen. I was like, we just need to finish dinner and watch this later because that's something you need to kind of pay attention to.
See, okay.
Yeah. Like, it's not super dark. Like, I think you'd probably be fine, but...
Yeah, I'll probably be. It's when it's like, oh, we're in
Super
a dark room.
Well, don't be super
And-
great for you, though, because as they say, it's like the projector is still on. Which I
Basically.
finally got that, what that meant, because that means it's so black you can't tell if it's part of the movie or if the projector is still on, and it's still on. Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah, let's see. Yoda is my favorite character in Star Wars.
It's
so
not
when I
officially
see all
Baby
these
Yoda.
people,
I want to be...
that's fine.
Okay, I just want to...
He just looks like Yoda. I don't care.
He's part of his species, yeah.
I'm fine with it.
He's adorable.
So when I saw his picture, I was like, I have like a Yoda doll.
They're not going to probably have one. I think they're going to have some shirts, but like, because like they apparently did not give any of the Disney marketing people anything about Baby Yoda, like for like the toys.
Yeah.
And it's because they didn't want, because every time they give him a toy, it gets leaked out early, and they wanted nobody to know anything about the movie. Like nobody knew the movie was
It's too
about
late.
him going after a baby as his bounty until the.
Oh wow, spoilers, Nick.
Sorry.
I just knew there
feel-
was a Baby Yoda.
Well, the baby's still there.
Now
in
I know
episode 3.
everything.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
Now I know the whole plot.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. That was bad. I'm so sorry.
bad.
That was bad. That was totally bad.
That's basically what Elsa did, though. She's like, I'm gonna Jon Snow this by going north.
She did, but she didn't look sad about it at the end. No. Also, though, she did cross over to play Family Charades. Hey.
She's still friends.
Also,
friends note.
I read on not Wikipedia. I read on Internet Movie Database some fun factoids, and then we'll close out the evening. First off, the movie ends on the same line as the first one, which is "Are you ready?" or like a line like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly like its predecessor, Frozen from 2013. The final line of the film is Elsa asking, "Are you ready?"
Are you ready?
And then throughout the films, Kristoff struggles to propose to Anna. This is similar to The Rescuers Down Under, in which Bernard has the same problem with proposing to Miss Bianca. When Elsa freezes solid, it is almost in the exact same pose that Anna froze in the original movie. Which,
That's what I have.
yeah, which I didn't think of that.
And
And if you think about it, Kristoff unintentionally accomplishes what Prince Hans set out to do in the original movie, which is by marrying Anna, who will then become Queen of Arendelle after Elsa would abdicate the throne. So, okay, I was not...
You know, Kristoff isn't going to do any ruling. He's going to be like,
Oh my God,
ice,
no.
bitch, ice.
Which, by the way, mad props for them, by the way, of putting him and Olaf and Sven in like really nice clothes, but acknowledging the fact that they're all miserable. And I thought it was pretty cool of Anna, but like, you don't have to wear this just for like the next hour or something, and you can put your normal, or actually, I like you better in leather anyway. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that's a good missus right there. That's my take. She's accepting for who he is, and she
Just
also
as he accepts her for who she is.
I know it's
Oh my God, it's almost like mutual respect is a good thing for a relationship. What?
So those are my fun facts. That's all.
Yeah, I did like Olaf in his pants. He's like, how can you win? I had it on for 30 seconds. It was stifling.
Right. And first off, my first thought was like, stifling. Good word, son.
Disney's all about peppering in those $3 words.
They are. I feel like they did it more back in the 90s when in the music, because I remember like Maitre D. I didn't know what that was. Non de plume. I didn't know what a non de plume was. A lot of shit from Aladdin.
Dude, Charlotte's Web, not Disney. But the animated
original.
Charlotte's Web,
Jesus,
when he's singing his I Can Talk song, that is like not a $3 word. That is just peppered with $5 words. They're like,
oh my God.
boom, 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 boom. And they rhyme. And you're like, Jesus.
Which, by the way, that movie
Impressive.
holds up really well. The original Paramount. Yeah, what you're talking about. Yeah, because it's like, was it Paul Lynn as Templeton? Well, hello there. He's like,
King Templeton.
yeah. Because he sings that song. He's like, let's go to the fair, the trash place, a trash fair. Smorgasbord. That's what it was, a
After
smorgasbord.
the crowds have ceased.
I keep forgetting that you officially have nothing to promote. So I was like, well, everybody, remember to check out Jessica.
I have nothing right now.
You have this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, and some episodes of Amanda's Picture Show at Go-Go, where you've done many episodes. Amanda at gogo.com. Hello to our friend Amanda. And you are also one of my pals at Mad Lab. So go to madlab.net to check out whatever shows we have going on right now, because I don't know when this is coming out.
Yeah, and who knows? There's always something. I might be in something by the time
you might be in
comes
something.
out.
You might be directing something, maybe. I don't know. I might be directing something. These are all very accurate statements.
Yeah, these are all real possibilities.
So, Jessica, thank you so much, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky is presented by D4K Studios. Nick Argenbright and William Dell are executive producers. Co-producers are Ashley Carlson and Catherine Ranella. Editing and mixing are provided by Orality. Find out how Orality can help you by going to facebook.com/Orality Sounds. The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky is also made possible by our Kickstarter backers. To see our backers, check out our show notes over at gbgpodcast.com. The theme and end credit tracks for The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky is by chiptune artist Hide Your Tigers. You can check out their music by going to hideyourtigers.bandcamp.com. We also featured the track from Futurama, The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, an arrangement by our own Nathan Haley. If you enjoy our program, be sure to subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and to leave a review, or subscribe to wherever podcasts are streamed. Thanks for listening.
We're having a good time until you start up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!